Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Thomas, what's up? Connie, what up, Connie Hodge? What it do? Yasha, African Pride, what up? GZ, stay real. GZ, stay real. What's up? What's up, Jay Rivers? Plume. Is that Real Fireman? Classic Family. Coley, Bend Over. Kevin Brown. Darth. Okay, fam, going in. This is another one of the quick lives that I'm doing. I need to stop saying quick live. I got to come up with a better word. Brief live. Let me see. Brief live. Rapid live. No, that sounds too technical, too corporate. I got to come up with something. I'll come up with something later. But anyway, fam, I'll be on here for about 15 minutes. And we're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein and these records that are being released, these files that are being released on Jeffrey Epstein and all of these people that are getting caught up in this web. Oh, man. And there are people who are believing right now that Jeffrey Epstein is somewhere on an island playing video games. Yeah. But right now, we got newly released Epstein files that include a draft statement attributed to federal prosecutors that is dated the day before Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. Did y'all catch that? The letter is dated before Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. This is a letter that is announcing his death. The draft appears among at least 23 documents in the disclosure labeled as statements from the Southern District of New York, U.S. Attorney's Office. Y'all want to see it? Okay, here it is. There's the letter. That's what they call today receipts. Okay? Let's get into this letter. Let's look at some of this stuff. For immediate release, Friday, August 9th, 2019. Let me remind you that Jeffrey Epstein was found dead on August 10th, 2019. This letter is dated August 9th, 2019, announcing his death. Family, imagine something happened to one of your loved ones and their death is announced, and then you come across a sheet of paper, a message from somewhere that says that this person was already dead. You come across an official letter, from the government stating this person was already dead. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman said, earlier this morning, the Manhattan Correctional Center confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein, who faced charges brought by the Office of Engaging in the Sex Trafficking of Minors, had been found unresponsive in his cell and pronounced dead shortly thereafter. Today's events are disturbing, and we are deeply aware of their potential to present yet another hurdle to giving Epstein's many victims their day in court. To those brave young women who have already come forward, and to the many others who have yet to do so, let me reiterate that we remain committed to standing for you, and our investigation of the conduct charged in the indictment, which included a conspiracy count, remains ongoing. We continue to urge anyone who feels they may be a victim or have information related to the conduct in this case to please contact 1-800-CALL-FBI. August 9th, 2019, a letter comes out. A letter is discovered with the date August 9th, 2019. But Jeffrey Epstein is announced, his death is announced publicly August 10th, 2019. Well, actually, that's not just publicly, but they're saying that's his death date. That is the date that he was killed. They didn't use killed. What did they say? They say he hung himself. That's interesting because somebody also said that Jeffrey Epstein was escorted out of the building that night. They saw him being escorted out of the building on that night. And then yet another interesting revelation is what happened here in Jeffrey Epstein's cell. There's a figure to the, if you look to the right, like look toward the center of the scene, you'll see a little flash, an orange flash. You see that? This is who people believe that may have contributed to Jeffrey Epstein's death. This might be Jeffrey Epstein's killer. Now, the FBI has said, well, we don't really know exactly who that is, but it could have been another inmate with some linens that was taking them up there. I don't know why an inmate would be taking them linens at that time, but they're saying that, hey, it could be an inmate. We really don't know who it is. Another suspicious thing about his death is that there's some time missing from the video. Seconds missing, minutes missing from the video, and which the minutes that are missing is the exact time that they presume that Jeffrey Epstein took his own life. Just conveniently, that's the time that's missing. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, there were no guards on duty at the exact time. There were no guards that were posted. There were no guards on post at the exact time that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. Killed himself. No guards on duty. Well, they were on duty, but they wasn't actually doing their duty. Yeah. The fall from grace was astronomical, fam. Like when you look at Jeffrey Epstein's life, you look at how him and Ghislaine Maxwell moved around and the circles that they moved around in, with the affluent people that they had relationships with all over the world, from presidents to kings and queens, princes and princesses, prince and princesses, and all of that stuff, however you say that word. Never try to use it like that. But anyway, when you consider all of that, and then you see how it ended. And look at Ghislaine. This is Ghislaine Maxwell inside of her cell. They go from the Virgin Islands to Rikers Island. That's a much different life right there. That is a big ass cell. Now, I'm not sure if this is at Club Fed that she's been moved to, or was this the original location they took her to? I think she's still thinking about those little girls. If she is, she's not thinking about how they were harmed. She's thinking about what she's missing out on. That is absolutely wild. Wild. Look at this uncivilized mutt. This uncivilized mutt. And it's people that look like him that go around pointing their finger at poor people. In fact, there's a communication between him and allegedly Bill Gates, where they talked about eliminating poor people from the face of the earth. So it's people like him who engage in some of the most wicked acts known to mankind and have the nerve to look down on others just because they ain't got some money or because they are not university educated. You know what I mean? They really think in their mind that they're somehow superior because they figured out a way to manipulate the system. They figured it out. They cracked the code on how to get to the money. So in their mind, they're somehow superior. They can look down on others. And you know that they were looking down on those little girls. Figuratively, yeah. So anyway, these guys, him and all of the rest of them that's in those files that were involved in abusing those girls. And I'm sure some of them abuse boys too, because when you get on that type of level, you know, you kind of like everything. So I'm sure that there was some boys abused too, right? Look at this uncivilized mutt. Wouldn't it be something if all of them can meet that same fate if they engage in things like that? Wouldn't it have been something if all of those people that were involved in the slave trade, who benefited from the slave trade, who relished in it, who went around lynching people and all of this stuff, wouldn't it be something if something happened to them in life and not just wait till they die? Wouldn't that be something? Some people call it karma when things like this happen to people like him. I call it justice denied for most people. Now, he met the type of death that's warranted for the type of character he is. But most people that are like him, most people who commit the most atrocious crimes, most atrocious acts known to mankind, never remotely face a fate like he did. Most of them die old and wrinkled. They die. They just fade away in the care of hospice, or they fade away at home, or fade away in a hospital bed, surrounded by loved ones. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.